Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm just gonna cut straight to it. As you can see, this isn't a vlog, but I thought I would just do kind of update, raw, open, honest video about what it was really like for me and how I felt after I graduated university. Truth is, I just felt like I was in a limbo stage, and it was just weird because it was like, I know that I was finishing university, but then I wasn't exactly at my career yet, so I'm just very much like in the middle, and I'm just like, I didn't really know what the next steps for me were and the next steps I should take. As briefly as I can, I'm going to start from the beginning and fill you in on what it was like throughout this summer and to where I am now in September of 2019. And if I look back at this summer, I just feel like it was great in so many ways, but it was also so educational for me. I feel like I learned so much from it, and I feel like it's really like building me into the person that I am and the woman that I want to become. Like, looking back, I feel like it was necessary, and I needed that to kind of push me into where I am right now and my headspace right now. So anyways, I want to cut back to May, and I think this is when it all started kicking off for me. It was May, and you know, I'm in exam season, and I'm living in my studio where I was living throughout the whole of my final year of university. And it turns out, for whatever reason, we had to all be evacuated from our studios. I was like, right, okay, what do I do? You know, obviously I still have my final exams coming up for my assignments, I need to be somewhere. So, you know, I was just looking around for like flats and like doing viewings of where I can like live temporarily. And I told my friends about this, and Natalie and Loretta, and they kindly offered. They're like, you know what, Loretta's going home for summer, she's already finished her exams, so you could easily take her room and just stay in the flat over summer with Natalie. So I was like, great, that's fabulous. I moved in there, and that's kind of where you saw like some of my previous videos during summer. They were taken all in that flat. So yes, I'm at their apartment now, and that's all good and it's fun. I was like hanging out with Natalie all the time. We were both working, it was cool. So once my exams were done, I was very aware, right, okay, I'm actually finished university. So I was lost in the heat of the moment. I was like, yes, it's great, I'm done, like 3 years of final year like finished. But obviously I was anticipating, you know, my results are coming up, then graduation's coming up, like there's so many other things that I had like to think about before I could even think about, okay, what are my next steps after university. So it was like I was pushing that thought into the back of my mind, and in the forefront of my mind was always the next step. So for me, it was like, right, the next step is my grades, like I'm getting my results. Got my results now, got a 2-1, I was really proud, I was happy, but I was like, okay, still, graduation's coming up, I need to go through all of that. Graduation comes up now, that was cool, we celebrated, and then it was like, right, I'm going on holiday with my friends. I'm going on holiday, we're going to Portugal for Afro Nation Festival, it's going to be great. Again, thinking about that, still pushing to the back of my mind what I'm actually going to do with my life after like all of this is over. So I've come back from holiday, it was all great, and then I'm like, right, it's all starting to dawn on me now, what am I actually going to do? Like, I finished university, I don't have a place at university to go back to in September because I finished my degree. What do I do? I just didn't know what the right decision was for me to make, and I was just so scared of making the wrong decision. I was just in this rut of like just going through the motions. That's the only way I could describe it. I was just going through the motions, and I kind of just didn't really know what was ahead for me, what I was even working towards, and I just felt really stuck, and I didn't really know what to do. And it was difficult, and that's why I'll just say I was like in a limbo stage throughout summer. In August, the end of summer is slowly approaching, and then it just all dawned on me, like, I need to figure out now what I'm actually going to do, like what are my next steps, because I pushed it to the back of my mind for so long just because I was so scared of making the wrong decision, and I was so scared of taking the wrong steps and failing and just it all going wrong that I just stalled, and I just stopped, and I just wasn't making any decisions to do with my future and to do with what I was actually going to do after university. And I came back from holiday, and I was just like, right, end of August is soon going to be approaching, I need to do something, I need to make a decision now. I was just so torn. I was like, do I stay up north and do I do a master's here, or do I do a master's back in London, which was my plan prior starting university up north anyway? Do I start looking for graduate jobs now? Am I too late? Do I just get a job, like keep working at my part-time job and then see what happens? And I was just so confused, and I just didn't want to make the wrong decision. Part of me was just like, do I just go back to London, and do I just go back home and just see what happens from there? I was also torn because I was like, I do love being up north, and I found a church and a church family here that I absolutely love. But then I was thinking, at the same token, is it good or is it right for me to only be staying up north just because of the church that I'm at, switch around my whole life because of that? Or does that mean I'm being complacent? Does that mean I'm not pushing myself? And I was just so confused as to what the right step was and what the right decision to make was. And I was just so confused, but it was all very in my head and very internal, and I wasn't verbalizing it as much, and I wasn't really talking to God about it. I wasn't really praying about it. It was all just on me. And I think that's really where the issue was for me. I needed to really verbalize it. I needed to speak about it. I needed to pray about it. I needed to speak to God about it, but I wasn't. I was just keeping it really very much bottled inside. And because I was working my part-time job as well, so I was working quite a few hours, so it meant that was kind of getting in the way of me going to church as much as I would have been. So I was still going to the evening service, but I wouldn't really make the morning service. It was a case of me working through the Sunday and then quickly going home, getting changed, and then rushing to the 6 p.m. service in the evening, which meant that I wasn't really seeing my friends from church as much. I wasn't seeing a lot of my friends as much. And so, as I said, everything was very internalized, and I wasn't able to speak about it and verbalize how I was feeling a lot more. And then I remember I went for coffee with a friend, and she was honestly, shout out to you, Sammy, because you've been a real G throughout all of this. So much love for you, gal. But I remember like talking to her about the situation a bit, amongst other friends too, but I kind of didn't want to talk to so many people about it because I just didn't want to get so many different opinions that would confuse me more. I just felt like I knew I shouldn't keep it in, but then I knew that I didn't want to proclaim it and tell everyone, so I can get so many different opinions that could cloud my judgment. I was speaking to Sammy about it. She was very much about, you do what's right for you and do what's best for you, and that was so encouraging for me because I was just so torn. I just literally didn't know what to do. I felt like I didn't even know what I should do for me. I was like, what does that even look like? Like, what does that even mean at this point? Like, I'm not even sure about what I'm meant to be doing. But spoke to her, and I remember like after church, like I just went into her car and I just asked her to sit down and pray with me, and she did. And it was just, honestly, like, I know things don't get better overnight, but from her like sitting down with me in her car and praying with me, I just felt like from that moment on God started to reveal certain things to me, and it was just all about my perspective. And I was just so afraid of making a wrong decision and trying to do everything by myself, but I was just like, you know, you can burden all of this with God, and you know, he can take the weight off your shoulders, and that's why like his strength is shown in your weakness. And I was just like, right, like this is kind of what I needed. So from that moment I kind of started to like let go and let God a bit. And I think I learned that I was getting so overwhelmed because I was just trying to do it all myself, and I was trying to figure out what the right steps were, and I just wanted to do everything so perfect and just not mess up and not fail. But in actual fact, if I just let go and let God, like he has it, and he has it all under control. And you know, Jeremiah 29:11 in the Bible says like, you know, God has a plan for you, and like he knows like our future. And I think I was trying to be so in the know, and I wanted to know the right steps that I had to take in order to reach my end goal. And in actual fact, I was just leaving God out the equation, and I was trying to do it by myself. So I was just kind of like, you know what, I need to let go and just let God, and that's the only way that I can be at peace with this whole situation. It just really did work in my favour. So I go home for the weekend, and when I was down, I went to Hillsong in London, a Hillsong church in London, and lo and behold, the preach was on the bigger plan. And I was just like, at this point, God, I know you're talking to me, and I hear you loud and clear. And the preach was just absolutely amazing, everything that I just needed to hear, and it just really spoke to me. And I was just like, right, I was so concerned about me, and all the right steps I needed to take, and all the things that I should be doing for my career, when in actual fact it wasn't really about me. It was just about what God could do through me. And I was just like, wow, like I needed to hear that. And it just made me feel like I'm exactly where I needed to be. I was so concerned about not fulfilling my potential, not fulfilling my purpose and what my purpose was, but it was just like, I have the moment now to live in that, and that's what I should be utilising. That preach really did speak to me. Came back up north, and I was just like, right, you know what, I have like that fire and that passion that I had once as a 17-18-year-old girl living in London who just wanted to be successful. I can still have that now, and I wanted that to be reignited within me. So I came back with a whole new energy, and I was just like, right, I've got to give it everything. I submitted my master's application finally to do it up north. Shortly after, I received a conditional offer to actually do my master's, and I was just like, wow, like this is fabulous. And I was just like, you know what, in church I'm going to be so much more involved and do everything I can. I want to work with the youth because that's something that I love to do. I just want to use all my skills and all my talents and anything I can do, my personality, whatever I can actually do, I want to give that and use that at church. And I just want to really push myself to give everything I can, so that I know that I have given my absolute all, and given everything I can, and I put everything out there on the table. And as I said, just let go and let God do the rest. I say to everyone who asks me, like, you know, my plans and what I'm doing, I just keep telling everyone, like, look, I've got unconditional offer now to do my masters here, and I'm just using this 1 year as my decided year to just give my absolute everything. I will have to trust and believe that something good will come out of it. And I think that's what it's really taught me in this season. I think I've always believed in God, obviously, and I've always like known He exists, and I always know that He loves me, and you know, He's powerful and omnibenevolent, and all this and all that. Like, I've always known that, but then trusting God, like having actual trust and faith in God, is like a whole other thing. And I feel like I've really been like stretched to do that in this season. There was a moment where one of my low points, and I was just like, you know what, I really don't know what's going to come from all of this. Like, I have no idea what's going to come when September hits. But I remember saying a prayer to God, and I was just like, even if I don't do my masters, and even if I don't get a graduate job right now come September, I want to believe that you'll find a way, and you always will find a way. And I remember praying this, and I remember being so, at this point I was just like, I can't even stress anymore. Like I was like, I can't even worry, but all I can do is just put my all, absolute everything, and all my trust into you, Lord. And I think doing that, a few days later I got my conditional offer, and I was just like, this is what I mean. Like, I don't know the plans that are for my life, but I know that God knows it, and all I can do is just believe that He knows what's best for me, and He will grant me the greatest desires of my heart. That's it really. And now I'm in my new apartment where I'm going to be living with Natalie, Loretta and Olive, who you'll hopefully see loads of on this channel. And it's just nice because I just see this as like a new chapter, and like leaving one season and going into another feeling like refreshed and well equipped to fight anything that comes our way. Like, I'm just so grateful for this summer and all it's taught me, and all that is shaping me into becoming. And I just kind of wanted to tell the rest of you people out there who are like young students, recent graduates, who are also in this limbo stage. Like, for me, I put all and everything into God and talking to God. If that's maybe not what you do, I really do highly recommend talking about it and verbalizing it, because you're probably not the only one that's going through it. And it's hard to know like what exactly your next steps are and what you need to do, but I think the important thing to realize is that there's no right next step. It's about what you make of the steps that you're taking. So I honestly think that we shouldn't burden ourselves and stress about what's to come, when in actual fact we're never going to know. All we can do is just give our all into the here and now, and kind of see what comes from it. So that's the advice that I would give. And for anyone out there who may not be a recent graduate or student, but is in a stage of just not knowing what's to come and not knowing what their future holds, I think the same advice still applies. You aren't to know, and I'm such a believer that God knows our plans and knows our futures and just everything that's going to come before it happens. I just believe that giving your absolute everything in the here and now, and just being a good person, and you know, treating other people with respect, just the things that people see as insignificant in the moment are just so important, and they shape you, they shape your character, and they shape your perspective as well. Perspective is such a big thing, and it's just about how you see your situation and how you see how you can come out of whatever you're in. I think that's what matters, and that's what's important. So yeah, I feel like I've gone on for a while now, and I didn't really want to make this a super long video, but I did want to be real, raw and open and honest with you guys, because I just feel like authenticity and integrity for me are just such important things, and I just kind of want to portray that on my channel. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you've got something from it, and I am so open to talking to you guys about it. So just, you know, hit me up on Instagram or leave comments on the bottom of the video. Like, I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. And yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys will actually be seeing a lot more content from me. I know I always say this, but I feel like I do love doing YouTube, and it's always something that gives me joy. So I'm just like, right, you know, this new chapter, this new season, let's get these videos out, let's do this. And yeah, let me not be cringe now, let me just end this video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.